I wonder what's going to happen in this transfer window, friends. Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here, of course, where I see what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but hey, more importantly, asking for yours. 2 articles I'm going to be dipping into today. The first coming from a Newcastle-based rag called The Mag, talking about Billy Gilmour nearly going to Newcastle on loan, but seemingly going to end up on Norwich City on loan, or in Norwich. You know what I mean. Also, I want to jump into an article talking about Erling Haaland, Man United still interested. What's going to happen if he doesn't transfer this summer? Ooh. And what's going to happen to Chelsea in terms of players? Anyway, lots to crack into. Drop a sub if you haven't done so already. Thank you for doing that and hitting the bell notifications icon if you want to be updated when I upload first. Is that English? If you want to be the first updated when I upload. Also, please do check out Football Yannick. Daily content, of course, all different kinds. Me doing instantaneous reactions at my desk about big stories. Me filming on my other SLR around my house talking about football. It's delicious content and you might dig it. Click the link in the description to go subscribe to Football Yannick. Hashtag road to 10k. Alright friends, thank you very much. Let's jump into the first story and talk about young Billy Gilmour. Right, Gilmour's been incredible and many of you quite rightly would like to see him given a chance in the first team next season under Thomas Tuchel. Granted, Thomas Tuchel hasn't really considered him, but he did drop him into one of the biggest games of the season against Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup at Wembley. Although it did turn out that maybe Thomas Tuchel didn't take the FA Cup that seriously. Anyway, I think he does recognise his talents and, you know, Thomas Tuchel does use youth players. He has done throughout his career here and there. But I think Billy Gilmour wants his future sorted out ASAP, and I think he thinks Premier League loan's the best. He's way too good for the Championship. We'd all pretty much agree that. Really, there's kind of 2 schools of thought. There's the go and get some football like he's looking to do, you know, play the game and press, get yourself on fantasy football, earning points. But also, there is what people call the Phil Foden technique at Man City, staying with Pep Guardiola, a good coach, you know, much like Thomas Tuchel, learn the trade with good players around you and then slowly get into the team and become important. That takes time, and you can't guarantee it's going to happen the same way as it did for Phil Foden. And to be honest, Foden will probably feel a little bit frustrated that it did take so long for him to get into the team. Hopefully Gilmour can just go out there, play some football, come back, you know, everything's fine. Let's jump into this article and see what it's saying. Billy Gilmour made headlines with an eye-catching performance against England on Friday night. The Chelsea player and his Scotland teammates were well worth their point indeed against a woeful negative England side that only had 1 effort on target. Alright, where's this come from? The Scots were undoubtedly the team that deserved to win it if anybody did. Right, hold on, is this a Scottish magazine? Because I thought this was a Newcastle-based magazine. Billy Gilmour swiftly made more headlines as the midfielder was tested positive for the virus, meaning that he and some Chelsea teammates Mount and Chilwell went into self-isolation and missed the 3rd group match on Tuesday, which seemed to be fatal for Scotland as they got knocked out. I think Gilmour might have made a difference in that game. He was man of the match in the second game. With Scotland knocked out of the Euros, Billy Gilmour will be looking now to build on his promising first start with Scotland with regular first team football at club level. Tempted away by Chelsea at the age of 16 after coming through at Rangers Academy, Billy Gilmour is suffering the fate so many young players do when they go to Stamford Bridge. Okay, hold on and pause. Billy Gilmour's still a teenager and he has played a lot of football at Chelsea. Well, not a lot, but bear in mind he broke through under Frank Lampard, played really high profile games. Liverpool in the FA Cup, 1 man of the match. He started in the Premier League the following game against Everton, and that's a high profile game at the time. Carlo Ancelotti's Everton were good, smashed them 4-0. Billy Gilmour, man of the match. He was given opportunities, but then he needed surgery. By the time he's come back in, you know, the new manager coming in, it was a little bit unlucky, so this sort of sweeping statement, generic, well, you know, another kid not given a chance at Chelsea. In fact, these last couple of years, loads of youngsters have been given a chance at Chelsea. You know, Tariq Lamptey's got a good move at Brighton because of a debut at Chelsea. There are plenty other, you know, Tomori, I know he's not as young, but he's got a Milan move. It's a really good thing to happen to come to Chelsea, train with the best academy in England probably, and then go and get a wicked career in football. I hate this negative connotation. It's so, like, dated to talk about wasted youth at Chelsea. it's always a good thing for youth to come to Chelsea for a multitude of reasons, not least now they actually do have a chance in the first team. So, meh. Okay, I got that out of my system. Let's read on. On Thursday morning, the Northern Echo had reported that the short-term future of Billy Gilmour was set to be sorted out sooner rather than later. The newspaper saying that their information is, despite Newcastle United registering an interest in taking the player on loan, instead, Billy Gilmour is set to sign with Norwich for the upcoming season. They say that Thomas Tuchel has made his decision and believes Norwich is the ideal stage for Gilmour's development, as they will give the midfielder regular first-team football in his preferred position. The Chelsea midfielder is set to step into the shoes of the Argentine international Buendia, who the Canaries sold to Villa for 33 million. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, Billy Gilmour is not the same kind of player as Emi Buendia. He's not like a creative attacking midfielder, he's more of an all-round midfielder. True, Billy Gilmour has played as a number 8 for Chelsea in youth level, and indeed a little bit under Frank Lampard, but he looks his best when he's sort of more of a sitting central midfielder, or maybe a little bit more shuttling. But certainly, he's not the same as Emi Buendia. Right, what do I think? Well, I'm really pleased he's going to Norwich City over Newcastle. Purely because of, a lot of it to do with the mood, and you'd think he'd get more minutes at Norwich. Yes, Newcastle have been in the Prem for a few years, and Norwich have gone up and down. But Norwich play exciting, high-octane football. They didn't spend loads of money when they first came up before they got relegated. I think they were almost planning for relegation before. Maybe they're in a more stable position now. They've absolutely romped the Championship twice, and they play a good brand of football that would suit Billy Gilmour, and is probably a lot closer to Chelsea than Newcastle is. And manager, coach Thomas Tuchel has looked at that and says, well, you're going to come and play for me, mate. Go and learn your trade with them. That suits me, you, and them more. Makes sense. Not official yet, but it does seem like this is the most likely outcome for Billy Gilmour. So fingers crossed. I think it will be quite good. I'll be excited to see him play in the Premier League regularly. That would be exciting. Right then, let's jump into the next story and the next article from the Daily Express and talk about Erling Haaland and some other stuff. Big banging story of the summer. It looks obviously, of course, like Chelsea are going to miss out on Achraf Hakimi, which, to be fair, whatever. It's not the be-all or end-all, isn't it? Playing 80 million euros for a right wing-back when you've got Reece James. Yes, maybe Tuchel had designs for him to shift some stuff around. Who knows? Maybe we'll still even buy a right wing back. But it's hard to cry for a deal like that going when it just doesn't seem like the most problem position. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a striker, a little bit more. Now, Erling Haaland is one of the hottest properties on the market. It did seem like Chelsea were the most likely, but if they don't get the deal done this summer, I think loads of teams will be in for him. Teams that probably play higher wages than Chelsea. I looked at the wage structure in the Premier League. Chelsea's, if I'm to believe this wage structure, Chelsea have the 14th highest paid player as their highest paid player. So, way off the top 10. The top 10's full of United players, Man City players. Even Arsenal have got 3 in there above Chelsea. So certain teams pay a lot higher wages than Chelsea do, interestingly. So when it comes to the buyout clause next season for Erling Haaland, Man United might just offer way more, twice as much wages as Chelsea do. There's reports yesterday that they're going to pay 350k to Jadon Sancho, 400k to Paul Pogba. Do you know what I mean? These ridiculous wage structure that just Chelsea, I wouldn't say can't compete with, but choose not to compete with in terms of their structure. And they probably have really good methodical reasons for that behind the scenes. So I'm a little bit worried that when it comes to next summer and, every club's willing to pay the buyout clause and basically Haaland chooses, he might go to a club that is willing to literally pay twice as much wages as Chelsea. So that's interesting. Let's jump into this article and hear what it has to say. Chelsea are unwilling to spend £150 million to sign Erling Haaland in this summer's transfer window, according to reports. The Borussia Dortmund striker is Thomas Tuchel's top target, but Manchester United are also admirers of the Norway international, and they're planning to pursue him next year. United being one of those incredibly high wage payers. Chelsea won the Champions League under Tuchel last term. Champions of Europe, we know what we are. While also reaching the final of the FA Cup and finishing 4th in the Premier League table. But though the Blues are a side very much on the up, they're still eyeing a summer spending spree nonetheless. Chelsea are big admirers of Haaland, who scored 40 goals across all competitions last term, and also finished as the Champions League top scorer. Didn't know that. I haven't talked about that yet. That's good. While that is the case, the Evening Standard have now delivered a negative update when it comes to the 20-year-old. It stated Chelsea are unwilling to pay Dortmund's asking price for Haaland, with the Bundesliga giants wanting 150 million to let him go. It is an absolutely sensational fee from Dortmund. They do it all the time. They buy like Ousmane Dembele for something like 20 million and sell him for 140. They would make a ridiculous amount of money on Jadon Sancho. They're looking to do the same with Erling Haaland. And it does seem so audacious to just pull out these ridiculous fees after not spending that much on him, especially when you know they're going to sell him for much, much less the following summer. Manchester United are also admirers of Haaland, but it's stated the Red Devils intend to go after him in 12 months' time, with Jadon Sancho instead being their priority. A deal to take Sancho to Old Trafford is nearing completion, with the 21-year-old Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's main aim for the summer window. Haaland had initially been linked up with the Red Devils, but in the wake of Edison Cavani's decision to stay for another year, they've put the interest on hold for the next 12 months. Interesting, it's just another example of the one of many clubs that want Haaland and will go for Haaland next summer. Chelsea have known this for a long time. The Athletic reported on this like weeks and weeks ago. Chelsea know they're going to be a war for him next summer, and they want to do everything they can to get him this summer, seemingly not pay £150 million. And in many ways, I'm kind of happy about that. It's kind of like the PSG buying, Neymar for 200 million vibes, breaking the market. Look, Chelsea need a striker, but we are champions of Europe, and we'll find a way. Although if we want to win the Premier League, really you need goals. You need goal scorers, Roman will know that, Mourinho will know that, Tuchel will know that. If you're going to challenge City at the top of the table, you need to score goals. More goals than Chelsea do under Tuchel. So we'll need to buy someone. Anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on any and all updates when it comes to Haaland, but as things stand, it sounds negative. Maybe Dortmund are, bluffing and they'll take 120 million. We'll have to see what happens later in the window. Of course, as soon as there's any information that arises, I'll report on it here on Football Therapy, so make sure you are subscribed and have the bell notifications icon clicked. It's important. Drop a like, sweet friends. Go check out Football Yannick for more sweet content, including my face. And I'm out. Enjoy the football. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.